Behind me is the completion or near completion of our Barnstar Sampler Sew Along quilt. I'm going to step aside and let you guys enjoy the beauty of this mammoth of a quilt. Okay, I think it's 88 inch by 100 is what I'm thinking. This is the quilt. So I'm going to quickly talk about it and show you all of the points that I have to match while I was putting this quilt together. And I'm going to show you all of the points in case you are sewing along or you're planning on sewing along with this quilt. Also, I want to tell you that this entire quilt, the fabric, the construction, were all from my scraps. This is an example of using your scrap and making it work for you. You don't have to go out and buy new fabric and purchase anything new. Use what you have to create a beautiful quilt in your style. Okay, this is my style. I'm going to go through and I'm going to show you what I did. Okay, but first, this right here is I have not pieced them together yet. I'm going to do that so you can see and me matching the points together. And this is B, okay, putting it together. And down here is C segment, okay? And over here, right here, is your D. So what I'm going to do with this quilt is put B and C together and then D, okay? And then I'm going to put this on top. The piece A will go on last. So with that being said, I'm going to bring you closer so you can kind of see putting this thing together. You kind of have to be on your A game because there are a lot of points within this quilt and the blocks. So for example, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, oh, my pieces and my points are perfect and they are lined up great. No, they are not, because that would drive me crazy, and I think that would drive you crazy too. My motto is finish is better than perfect, right? So this quilt is near done and I am closing the chapter. So don't be hard on yourself and say, oh, well, you know what? My quilts, my lines, my blocks, my whatever didn't line up. Do the best you can. And if it lines up, great. And if it's less than perfect, that's okay. By the time it's quilted, guess what? Nobody's going to know. So just do the best you can. But anyways, that's just my little tidbit. Let's walk through this quilt and let me show you and give you my pointers and my tip on putting this thing together. And also I will talk about color. Let's go. So I'm going to take you from the top and I'm going to show you, this is our very first block. I'm not sure if you guys remember. I'm going all the way up here on my design wall. So right here is the top piece, and these are all the points I'm walking over right here, the top. So I'm showing you everything. I'm being completely transparent, showing you that not all my points are perfect. For example, this one lined up and this one didn't. But if you're looking from far away, it doesn't look so bad, okay? And it goes all the way down to the bottom like that. So every single block touches. And that's why pressing this thing needs to be pressed open in some parts and pressed to the side in some parts. So this is it all the way down to the bottom right here. Okay, and I'm going all the way down to the floor right there. You see that? And so I'm just showing you what mine looks like. I'm just taking you along with me so you can kind of see how everything pinned out. Like, this is too long for my wall, so I kind of have to overlap them. And That's that right there. And if you can, I'm going to take you far back, walk back a little bit so you can see how I've put my colors together. I started tightening up my colors with the smaller block so they look like they belong together. Okay, using my scrap was how I came up with this. Okay, and if you are thinking about using your scrap and you don't know where to start, I have a scrap management video also. And if you want me to do a follow-up video, please comment down below and let me know so I can kind of walk through how I choose colors. And so you see how I fuzzy cut almost every center of the quilt like that. And that's the bottommost right there. So I just want to kind of come in and just show you how everything kind of went. That's it right there. Just kind of going through. Okay. And coming down. I have a table right here that is kind of preventing me from showing it all the way down to the floor. But you get the idea. Like that. That's the floor. So let me sew this so you can see, and I will also point out my the points so you can kind of see how I sew this. And so now let's sew this squirrel behind me. So now I have laid my segment A and B together, and I'm going to meet the corner, like the seam. I'm going to meet them right there, and I'm going to pin. Okay, I have this right here, the pins. I'm just going to pin where I feel like they are, the seams are going to touch each other. I will pin them. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm doing now. Like right here on the end, I will pin it so I don't goof. So I'm going to come here to the end, and I'm going to pin these two ends together so they line up right there. This is the end of the quilt. Okay, that's that. And this points right here meets. I'm going to pin it as well. Okay. Oh, the thing is, this quilt is so big that it can be a little overwhelming, but if you just kind of take it slow, it'll be okay. So now that I pin all the points together, I'm going to go ahead and sew A and B together, and I'll come back and sew C together with A and B. And I'm going to pin exact same way that I have shown y'all right here. So all my points are pinned. Okay, so I'm going to sew and we'll see. So here we are. I'm going to sew my A and B. I have sewn A and B together. Okay, it is so big. This by itself right here can be a quilt. The next step is to sew on the C segment to A and B. So this is what I'm going to do. I've already pinned them to where I feel they needed to be pinned. I'm going to sew it. Let's sew C with A and B. Here we go. A, B, and C are all sewn together. This is what the three segments look like so far. It is huge. So I'm not sure if me standing up is doing it any justice for you. It is big already, and I haven't even I haven't even sewn the top on yet. So now I'm going to sew on the top. I'm going to put it back on the wall and I'm going to pin it as I stand it on the wall because it is pretty wide. And it's easier for me to do it that way. So I'll pin it on the wall, pin this bottom piece on the wall, and then I will flip over the A piece and I'll pin it while it's on the wall. Let's do that. The bottom piece, the A, the B, and the C are all sewn on, right? So I'm gonna take this top piece right here, flip it onto this while I'm on the design wall, then I'll pin it in place because I don't wanna put it on the floor. I much rather work while it's on the wall. That way I know that, from transitioning from here to the floor, I can flip something and I don't wanna visit Jack. So that's the truth, okay? So let's just flip this on this and then pin and sew and the top is done, okay? And I'm gonna come across this way and pin the end and then I'll come back and do the middle part. So the end is pinned. So now they're lined up. I'm going to pin my center out so everything is even. And I'll pin. Now that this final piece is pinned on to the rest of the body, I'm just going to go ahead and sew from end to end. This quilt will be finished. The only reservation that I have right now, and I want you to comment down below if I should add like a 2.5-inch border. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the quilt from all four corners of the quilt are points. So when it's quilted, to put a binding on will ruin it if I chop off the end. So if I've already put a border on like a 2 or 2.5 inches, it will kind of frame it in and make it a little prettier. So I want you to comment down below and let me know whether or not I should add a border. Every block has a point, like every last one of them. So that's kind of why I'm leaning towards putting a border on. And if you're making this quilt and you don't want to add a border, that's all great. And if you do, I'm going to add my own element into it, just like I have done from the beginning of this quilt. I have added my own element from the beginning. I've added all the fuzzy cutting, my style, my colors, and things like that. And this is no different, adding a border. So just making decision on border or no border, it's like a thought process. I don't know why, but that's just the way it is. So let's sew the final piece on. And then this quilt will be finished. There we go. I have sewn on the last stitch for this quilt. And it's done. Here's our quilt all done, right? This is the entire quilt sewn on. My question now is border or no border? I want you guys to tell me what you think. I'm gonna kind of show you this is everything sewn together just for you to kind of see. So this is how my quilt turned out. And everything was directional. And I try really hard to do it justice, guys. So this is everything. I'll take a full picture face on so you can see it as well. So these are the edges right here. I want you to see the edges. So all of it are on points. Everything is on point. So I kind of want to put like a 2-inch or 2.5-inch border like this so I can kind of frame it in. This is my quilt all sewn together right now, and I can say that I'm happy with how it came out And I hope that you have enjoyed sewing along with me. And I thank you so much for following me, because this was, I know this was a lot of work. A lot of you guys are sewing with me, and some of you guys are already completed, and some of y'all are still a little bit to finish. But I hope that making this and finishing it, everything from the beginning to the end, on camera, filming it, has held me accountable to bringing this to you every week and making sure that I do it justice and I don't mess it up. This is my quilt. I have finished, I can say I have completed my quilt, or almost finished with my quilt, and I hope that you've been sewing along with me. With that being said, it is time for you to put your quilts together, and I want to see pictures on Facebook at Case Crafting Nest, just like it is here on YouTube, same spelling. So I want to see pictures, and I think, and you also have to just kind of like agree to the rules where everybody has to be nice. I just started it, so I would love to see pictures of anything that you're working on. It doesn't even have to be this quilt. I just want to see pictures. So when more and more people are joining the Facebook page, they can kind of get inspired and kind of, you know, like want to be part of our community. The quilting community is a very kind community, and that's what I would like in the Facebook as well. So with that being said, I have completed my quilt behind me here, and I hope that you are working on your quilt, and I will see you on my next video. You have a great day. Bye. Just a little treat. You guys are always wondering that you want to see my sewing space, so I'm gonna just go really slow so you guys can see my space. This is my space. Oh, hang on. And I don't want to make you sick. This is my space right there. That little thing on the corner of the table right there, it's a little trash bin that I got from Target. That's my thread wall on top. These are my little background situation. And that sign right there that says, sorry, yesterday was the last day for complaint, that I got from Tuesday morning from a long time ago. I was in my office. I will put it in my work office. So when I'm doing like a video call or a meeting, it will be behind me. So everybody will know that, look, this is not a place to complain. So now that my office is a little smaller, I put it in here. So when my kids walk in the room, it's the first thing in their face. There you go. And that right there, that corner is where I keep all my holiday fabrics right there. I don't think I need any more, right? So, and that right there, that machine is my secondary machine. It is my Jonome M7. I use it to do my free motion quilts. That is my Juki, the 2200 QVP Mini, and I can also put it on a frame, so it does double duty. I don't even know if they make this anymore. If you want to look for it, is the Juki 2200 QVP Mini, and it is a workhorse. It's a different one from what everybody has. I love it. That is my section right there where I do all the editing, and it feels like a little office within a sewing room, but I don't actually do my 9 to 5 work here. I edit. I want it to look pretty. And so this is where I keep my pens. Everything is super organized. And that is my ruler right there. So I'm kind of taking you 360 turn. And that's where I keep my ruler. Right over here. Everything is organized, nice, and clean right there. I do not like anything to be out of place. And this is what I'm doing next. My sew along for the pressed flower. The fabric is already ready, and starch ready to be cut and go. These are all my starch. And then on the door right here, on my door right here is like an organizer thing where I keep things that I don't really know where they go. Starches, extra rulers. It's just, it's there. I know it's there. It's the most messy you will ever find my room. So there you have it. And that bag, that bag right down there, I carry it with me when my kids are going swimming. I kind of do I do EPP, and everything is housed in there. And so if you come around here, is where I keep things that I'm working on, fabric that are left over. So they go right there. And my cutting table right over here, right adjacent, across from my M7. And it's a mess right now, but that's okay. So anyways, I just wanted to take you guys really quick around the room, right? There you go. That's my space. Okay. I know you guys asked to see my sewing room, but that's what it looks like. Okay. Just 360. Nice and slow, as much as I can be slow. And this is my design wall. It is wall to wall. The wall in this room are high, so I'm able to house things vertically. That's the current sew along we're doing on the corner right there.